Yo, yo, yo. What up, Raider Nation? Welcome in to another episode of the Raider Ragu Show. Check it, man. Let me get a like, share, comment, subscribe. And don't forget to sponsor shebangboutique.com. Okay, look, check it. I want to talk about the coaching staff, specifically the O-line coach, because that's what we were like really waiting on because of the issues that we had last year, right? If you're a Raider fan, I really don't even have to speak on it. We know what the deal was, but like for some of y'all that's slow or not really Raider fans, might be watching the video or whatever, which I appreciate. Good looking out. We had issues, the Raiders did, with the coaching of the offensive line last year and the play of the offensive line last year. At the end of 2023, the offensive line was playing pretty good, basically the same guys. Um, and then in 24, they got DJ Glaze in the draft. He started from day one at the right tackle. Um, and they were playing JPJ at the center. And they had Jordan Meredith at one of the guards. And Parham was playing one of the guards. And Colton Miller, right, was playing the tackle. He had got hurt, though, had surgery. So it was a couple guys playing for him. So Colton Miller got hurt in 24 and 25, missed a ton of games. Anyway, 25, the O-line was pretty much the weakest unit on the team. Had a lot of criticism. You know, they had two guys give up 10 sacks, more than 10 sacks, or at least 10. Glaze and the dude Forsythe. Forsythe had to take Colton Miller's position, had to take his spot because Colton got hurt again. All right, so then they digressed, right? They was playing pretty decently at the end of the season when they went 8-9 in 2024 in 2023 and with AP at the interim. And then in 2024, they only won 4 games, but a lot of that was blamed on QB play and just some bad breaks. Not to mention, Devontae Adams quit on the team. You know, they traded Josh Jacobs. They didn't really have a running game and all that. That line was playing decently, though. Then they regressed. Anyway, this past season, they had Brendan Carroll, Coach Pete Carroll's son, and they regressed and were terrible, one of the worst units in the league. Now, this year they switched into zone blocking scheme under the new head coach, Clint Kubiak. In the past, the Raiders haven't been able to block it up in this scheme, in the run game. They haven't. They tried doing this at the beginning of 24 and end up scrapping it and going to a power blocking scheme. And if you remember, Sincere McCormick got in and was actually getting it rolling for a couple games. And then he got hurt. So they really didn't have a feature back. They didn't have great O-line play. And they weren't able to run the zone blocking scheme. Well, with Clint Kubiak, you have to be able to run that stretch play, that zone blocking play, where you are, stepping to the play side with your first step, and the running back, either by pitch or handoff, is stretching it to the outside and then cutting through the lane, right? So you need athletic guys that can, get out of their stance quickly, get the step to the outside shoulder of the person that they blocking, get a hand on them, and then, you kind of hooking them with the inside shoulder and rocking with them. You know what I'm saying? Flowing with them, and then the back finds the hole and hits it. Well, the Raiders haven't been able to do that. Well, they got O-line coach Rick Dennison. Rick Dennison, all right, has been a coach with the Bills, Donkeys, and Texans. Okay? Yeah, another donkey. So Dennison coached most of his time. So Rick has been getting down for 30 years, y'all. All right. Rick Dennison was the O-core for 7 seasons for the Bills, Donks, and Texans. At different times, he was the O-core for those teams. He's a guy that has coached it up on the offensive line for 14 playoff appearances, 6 division titles, and 4 Super Bowl wins. 17 seasons as a donkey. He won 10 games or more 8 times, is what I meant to say. I think the Donkeys have been to the Super Bowl 8 times in their history, but this dude wasn't there the whole time. All right, so 17 seasons as a Donkeys coach. 8 of those years, they won 10 games, 8 playoff appearances, 4 AFC West chips, 3 Super Bowls. But Rick, obviously, if you've been coaching this long, and he was already a grown man, right? When he started coaching, back in those days, you started coaching a little bit later, like in your 30s. So he's 60 plus years old, Rick is. And I thought to myself, that's a little old, no matter how good a coach he is. And I heard he's tough coach, tough on his players, talks, get in your face, talk shit to you, ask you what the hell are you doing, that type of coach. But I'm like, that's a little old, man. We might need somebody that can demonstrate still. You know what I'm saying? And Rick can't really do that. Rick could definitely tell you what to do, and he knows what it looks like, but he can't really get out there and demo nothing. And if he's that old, and we still plan on keeping Kubiak for a long time, what's the future of the O-line like, right? Who's going to get in here and apply and maybe teach this stuff that Rick is saying? Because it's all brand new. It's going to be all brand new stuff. So I was a little skeptical on the hire, right? I'm like, Rick is a great football mind, been around for a long time, had great success coaching the zone blocking scheme. I was like, but he a little old. So I dug into the coaching staff a little more. And that's when I came across, I see what they about to do, okay? Mario Jebarillo is really the de facto O-line coach, okay? Stay with me. So Rick is the man, okay? Rick is the guy with the skins on the wall. 14 playoff appearances, 6 division titles, 4 Super Bowl wins, 30 plus years of history, 7 years as an O-core. He's the O-line coach. He's the brains of the operation. But the guy that's going to actually get in there and mix it up and apply it, how the guys apply this, is the young, he's in his 40s, Mario Jebarillo. He, from 2018 through 2020, was the O-line coach for Abilene Christian College. All right, he goes from there and moved on. But hold on. Played for UNLV, so he's a Vegas guy. Played for UNLV 04 to 08. Played O-line, right? So he's a big dude. Young enough, okay? Here's where the guy can get in there and show guys, no, this is what the hell I'm talking about, right? Rick can't really do that, man. Rick too old to be doing that, man. This guy can do that. He's 40 years old. He's not in his 40s, he's 40. He's actually coached offense and defense, but his background is O-line because he was played O-line and started coaching at Abilene Christian. He was the O-line coach for 3 years there. So this is our guy. This is our O-line team right here. Coach Rick Dennison, the old veteran, and then we got the young guy that's going to learn from Rick and be able to show and implement to these younger offensive linemen and veterans that we have about how to block in this new scheme. So yeah, man, I'm not gonna really hold you guys. I just really wanted to jump into that. The O-line, I think, is in good hands. We got an old guy, like a sensei, right? And then we got the young assistant, or young student in training or teacher in training in Jabril. And I think the offensive line for the Raiders this season is going to be better for that. What you guys think? Let me know in the comments.